Even when we go to these parties, I let her walk around. I let her do her thing. And you know, if I catch her doing some bad shit, I'm like, I'll say, do it again in front of me. Like, just do it right now. Do it in front of me so I can get over it. And then I'll walk away. Block. Complete block. That's it. Walk away. Complete block. Don't even try to argue. Just walk away.
Cool. All right, let's dive straight into it. So welcome, brothers, to today's live stream / episode. We've got a special guest here today. We've got Karl Hype San Nicolas. He's one of the partners at Advanced Social Systems, I believe. That's the company.
Correct.
Yeah, alongside J Mac, who we had on before to talk about Advanced Social Circle game. Today we're going to discuss, we're going to kind of branch off on that and talk about, you know, polygamy and running a quality harem. Karl's got a very interesting situation. We actually connected on Facebook. I think you might have responded to one of my posts about, I think it was how to, I think have a polygamous relationship with a woman you live with, something like that. And I think you mentioned that you're doing that right now. So that's why I wanted to kind of get you on and break that, because that's like a dream lifestyle. Like, you know, if you can have the for me personally, if you can have the joys of a long-term relationship and have the freedom of still doing your thing, that's something that I want to definitely incorporate into my life. I've actually been reading a book called by Black Dragon called I've actually literally just listened to it now, The Ultimate Open Relationships Manual. Have you heard of it?
You know, to be honest, I haven't, but send that my way and let's rock it, man.
Well, yeah. So I'm hoping that I'm sure your ideas are just as good as that, if not better. Cool, man. So yeah, so just share with the brothers. Obviously, thanks for coming on. Share with the brothers, obviously, your situation. I know you're engaged. Tell us, you know, your situation in terms of this whole kind of game, kind of lifestyle, pickup lifestyle, and where you are right now, especially in your current relationship situation.
Thank you. Well, you know, to be honest, I see it as not only an obstacle, but a circumstance that, you know, you get to experience along the way. You know, it's just something that gives us that challenge. You know, my wife, for example, every woman in a nutshell, you know, especially in a relationship, they're always going to have that testing mindset where it's like, do you like other girls? Are you checking her out? I bet you like her. And I know this goes on for like about literally 70% of most relationships. You know, that's why, you know, half of that fails. You know, I'm studying these on articles, you know, I'm reading these on articles, especially when it comes to marriage. 70% of marriages fail. So one, what can you do to, as far as a man, while you're going through this journey, how could you vet a woman? How could you find her? Basically just take out a notebook, write down your end results of a woman, short, Latina, that's, well, mine is short, Latina, you know, has my blood as well, the Chamorro blood. And, you know, just very open with other women and ambitious, low mileage. It manifests. How? It's because one, you have to qualify them. You got to talk to them as far as which girls you're talking to, you know, dating or even friends. Like, so what are you into? You know, like qualifying questions, hard qualifying questions. It's like, hey, so, you know, after you're building the comfort, you qualify them. It's like, okay, so what are you into? Do you like other girls? And if they're like, yeah, then your social media as well should be designed towards that specific pattern. Like, okay, so if I like other women, you know, and I like serious relationships, I'm gonna post everything from one, building an empire with classy photo shoots, hanging out with my model friends, throwing a major events. So that's what I do out here in Guam. I do a lot of events. I've been in a lot of social circles where I've created a massive amount of clientele, and also what's that called? You know, we did a lot of lifestyle concert events where, you know, we brought in rappers, and, you know, we coordinated yacht parties, booze cruises. So it all funnels down towards, when you qualify your woman, when you're looking for her, is she going to be fitting to this lifestyle? Is she going to add value? Is she going to offer you other women? You know, so it's really just a matter of how you question things. How you question things is what's going to get you the right type of woman, right type of answer, if that makes total sense to you, and also to others that are listening to this. I'm really trying to break it down to us as easy as I could. So you know, basically baby steps. That's how I understood. It's literally baby steps. It's like, okay, what type of girl, color, hairstyle, you know, what is she into? Is she into other women? Is she going to get jealous?
Okay, so you're asking these questions off the bat, like after you have sex with her, or even beforehand,
right? You have to understand. Yeah, you have to better. You have to qualify. It's almost like sales. It's like you're meeting a client. You know, you cold approach a girl. It's, hey, you know, hey, what's up? You know, hey, how's it going? You know, just chilling, just connecting. You know, like, hey, what's up? What brings you here today? Oh, you look so familiar, by the way. Oh, is that cool? Okay, let me get your name and number, and if you have Instagram, hit you up. I don't even really ask for numbers, to be honest. I just get their Instagrams, and if they respond on there, that means they have the time to speak to you. Why? Because on their Instagram, you look at a girl's DMs, it's hundreds of dudes. Hey, what's up, beautiful? Hey, gorgeous. So they got a list. You think men got lists of harems? Women got that on off the bat. Off the bat, they got a list of dudes ready to slay dick. It doesn't matter. So even me as a man, it's not insecure for me to like go on my girl's phone like, who are all these dudes? It's like, okay, let him keep hitting you up. Let him keep hitting you up so I can understand myself how to behave. What are the behavioral cues that are going to keep you attracted? I mean, if I'm going to live with you, what's going to keep you deeply attracted to me? I mean, women love rap songs. You don't think they love a rapper that has like tens of like 10 to 20 bad bitches around them and just like rapping and shaking their booty? Women love that shit. They love seeing a dude like that. So why not for their own man? Why not be attracted to that? Why? Because it's a selfish thing. They want to be like, okay, no one else is. No, I'm not going to share you. But this one quote that I've heard from another coach is, a woman would rather share an alpha male than to be with a beta. So they would rather share, as in go to polygamous parties, swinger parties, offer him other women, be loyal to only him, and then to be with a beta male that has a lot of fucking money. And on a primal level of attraction, the money gives you the access, but the behavioral cues, it's how you behave, how you demonstrate yourself. Like SMV, when you go out in public, like, are you hanging out with other girls? How hard are they? Are they tens? Like, are you going to the gym? Are they trying to take selfies with you? So it's really the opposite of obscurity. So it's scarcity of resources, and also just like, yeah, you just can't have access to me. Like it's kind of like you got to be cocky a little bit in that way of demonstration. That makes sense.
Okay, so you're using the social systems to reinforce your relationship, basically.
Yes, correct. Because J-Mac actually taught me that. So a big shout out to J-Mac. He's actually my coach. Coaches do have coaches. So, and I've been seeing your things as well. And to be honest, I love it. Looks Max, I'm digging it. Now I actually have the time to add value. I'm like, yeah, I got to really make time for this. Like, working out is a really big part of it. It's being healthy is a really big part of it. Because one, if you notice my face too over here, like this side, I actually had shingles like literally 3 years ago, and it fucked with my immune system. So I got scars from it, and it still fucking hurts up to this day. I had crooked teeth for a long time. I was very skinny. So I was like, how could I looks max myself? I'm going to compete against military guys. I'm going to the beach, and I'm gaming girls, I'm meeting girls, and these dudes are 6'3". I'm fucking 5'4", 5'6". And these dudes that I'm competing with, or so to say, I'm just going out and being around with, they really compete. They were like, yeah, what's up? They'll cut into you and they'll jump over you. So the kind of practice that I've dealt with, it's a lot of, it's a lot of dudes as well too that are very, they're very up there as far as SMB. So how can average guys become better at game? What can they use? What systems can they use? It's the kind of questions too that I see myself asking myself, and the type of people I'm being around.
So how did you overcome that challenge?
I just kept facing it every single day. Fucking hurt. Like every day I was like, you know what? Shit, this sucks. I'm just gonna get up and go, get a haircut, feel good about myself, and just get up and go. Just facing the devil literally every day. Which another coach also mentions, Shane Smith. He says that it's a luxury for men to crawl to the depths of hell and not realize that you can go fucking deep as fuck, like deeper into the flames and deeper into facing really the rejection stages and going out and being fucking nervous. Like even when it comes to closing the girl, it's like how to take off her clothes, how to caress her, how to ease your way into it. So it's a matter of doing it every single day. I've been a doer like pretty much my whole life for 10 years. I've been doing this for about 10 years, and I realized like, holy shit, I still got a long way to go. So what can I do to increase my logistics, get a better place, get a nicer place, bigger area, more privacy, the type of women we're going to be in our circle, even just being their friends, and I know I'm pretty sure J-Mac mentions that too, is like even just being their best friends, you don't have to fuck all of them, because most of the time, like you're going to get quality, but you got to be their friend most of the time, because some of them are married, so yada yada.
Yeah, I was going through your Facebook to kind of find some pictures to put for the cover, and just obviously have a look at obviously what you're about with your coach and everything. And I see obviously you're part of the military, right?
No, actually I was in college ROTC for about 3 years, so that's literally just training, and I pulled out and I just jumped into real estate and entrepreneurship because I decided to make a financial move of I want to be a fucking millionaire first. I don't want to have to go through that, but I loved it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna bag on it. but that extra 8% of what I truly wanted to do was 100% added and equal to 100%, which and is entrepreneurship and being a dating coach and living this lifestyle. Because if I was going to be in the military right now, I wouldn't be doing this right now. I'd be somewhere else. So, I want to still
Oh,
give to the military men and women out there, because that is a great path. I started training when I was in college.
oh, okay. And have you lived in Guam your whole life? Or was you in like Vegas? Because I see you got like Vegas connections as well, right?
Yeah, so dude, I've been here my whole life. Literally been in Guam my whole life, and a lot of my friends, a lot of my coaches, and like J Mac, he flew from LA, so this is someone that I've attracted as far as partnerships and living the same lifestyle. He came to me, only because my circumstance. I have a kid on the way, so I'm kind of balancing out, like pretty much like my funds and everything. How can I live my best life with being frugal and not too cheap, but balanced. So I have friends in Vegas, only because I've been connecting, and I've been showing them a lot of my stuff, my business licenses for events, social proof, basically on Instagram, social media. So everything I demonstrate is actually all the truth, and it's just I kind of balance it out too, because I do have family on my groups, and they're not really gonna like what I'm doing, only because they still live under that Disney narrative where man and woman, and that's it, one partner for the rest of your life. So it really fucks with that system. So I'm really trying to ease my way into it as well. So a lot of my social circle networks are all from out there, and currently just learning to myself while in Guam.
Oh, amazing. So you can even build a social circle like overseas.
Correct. Yes. So it's just a matter of like which friends you connected with. Like if I go to, you're in London right now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
My plan would be I would fly out to London. Would be like, all right, cool. So let's find out where the best clubs are, and connect with bar owners, club owners. We'll just, hey, let's just go meet some friends out there that are some models, and like, hey, let's go just connect. We're new here. We're new here, and I noticed too that they'll love your accent too. So if you're other American, or even from you come here to Guam, bro, you're like a gem. You know what I mean? You come to Guam, they're like, oh my God, your accent. Oh God, it's just like natural. So I want to bring that value out there to London, the States, Vegas, and I want them to be like, whoa, who is this guy? Chamorro, what the hell is Chamorro? Oh my God, like, what are you guys? You guys are like warriors and shit. I'm like, yeah, I guess, So tell me more about you. It's just, I could talk all day, but I will want the other person to talk.
Okay, amazing, amazing. And also, you're actually married and you got a baby on the way, yeah?
I do have a baby on the way, and I'm engaged. So, on papers, it's pretty much like on the balance and the precipice and the balance, like so engagement. So, but yes, I also have a baby on the way.
Oh, congrats, bro.
Thank you. I'm excited. I just really don't like to pull out as well.
July, did you say?
Yeah. Just
okay.
No pulling out. No pulling out life. I hate that shit, man.
Wow. And for anyone who hasn't seen, Karl's girl is, fiance, she's very good looking. She's like a model, right? Or is she a model?
Yeah, honestly, she's been modeling for a while, and I'm looking forward to having her manage some of the business ventures that we have going on, because we're gonna also find more models to do photo shoots. We actually have a swingers party this weekend, this Saturday. So her push present is I'm gonna take her partying this Saturday, and we're gonna meet up with a couple of our friends that also do the same thing. But don't get me wrong, in my relationship, it's only open for my end. For her, it's I give her the option to, like, are you sure you want just me to experience just the women? I mean, I'm not an insecure guy, but if you're gonna ask for fairness, just know I'm very selfish with my woman, and if this is what you want, I mean, this is really what my lifestyle is. I mean, if you offer me other women and you're cool with it, and it's just gonna be me, and if you want to just, well, my business trips want to have other women, I'm cool with it. Just let me know, because I'm telling you the truth and honesty. And that's a part of the topic that we're discussing as well too, right? Honesty versus deception. Because I believe deception is like playing this role, like, yeah, I'm never gonna play you, girl. Like, I'm for one woman, and then once you get with her, and then she opens up, you're like, yeah, I got her on the tip of my fingers. I can do whatever I want. That's deception. Or two is like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know it's probably gonna turn you on when you find out that I'm gonna fuck a girl in front of you while I choke her, while I give you deep eye contact. I'm pretty sure that's gonna turn you on. She's, just getting like spinal chills, because that's what triggers the attraction, is when another woman sees you with another hot woman that's literally giving herself to you. So it's really important for her to see that. So Now it's coming down to honesty, really, like just really be honest. Most guys are scared to be fucking honest. Like, yo, I'm checking out the other girl. We're going to the mall. I'm looking at other girls too. I'm realizing, like, is this really me to check out other girls? I'm just doing it for fun. But honestly, deeply, I'm really more about the intellect. The booty comes last too. Like, if our conversations don't bang, it's really kind of hard for us to connect. That's the reason why I'm with the women that I'm with now, because we really argue a lot and we cut each other off because we have a lot to say. So, honesty really is a big thing for me.
Oh, you argue with your girl, do you?
Yes.
Is that something that what kind, is that like productive arguments, or is that, because basically the book I'm listening to, it talks about drama. So it's
Drama.
like, his whole thing is cut out all the drama from your life. And he kind of sets up the systems to avoid drama. What's your view on that? Like arguments and putting your foot down. What's your take on that?
My take is, especially being a man, we're logical, and when we argue, we get hot-headed. I'm a hot-headed, especially when I argue, like, I won't stop until I win, and that's really just me. So when it comes to the drama arguments, I feel like asking the right kind of questions, like, what do you think about this? Honestly, hun, like, do you think this is going to turn you on? Like, tell me more about what are your boundaries so I can respect it. So it's really the qualifying questions. It's the type of questioning we do during an argument, because arguments is like, yeah, this is it. Yeah, the dog is yellow. No, but the dog is really just a dark orange. That kind of arguments is like, really, what is that going to lead to? Is it going to be leading to a fight, like an anger fight, or is like, so why do you think the dog is yellow? I mean, what if you turn it from this light? So just the kind of questions is like, okay, it's kind of influencing whether it's going to be an argument of like pain, or is it an argument of, wow, we have both an agreement on something. This is amazing. So this is great. And just adding on the positivity. Is that something similar to what you're reading on your book, as far as directing the argument towards?
So Black Dragon, I think his name's Caleb. I don't even know his last name. He is totally against any kind of drama, like zero drama, like zero. I think he categorizes it. There's 3 types. So you have harshness directed to you, and there's another one. So basically, there could be 2 out of the 3. But if they're all 3, then like that's drama. So, for example, if a woman, so if she, like, let's say she hits her toe, she's upset, but then she calls someone else about it. That's not drama because it's not at you. But if she hits her toe as upset and then she screams at you, that's drama. That makes sense.
That's interesting, right? So it's like basically venting, because how I see it is like women would vent to other people. They would vent to their guy friends or girlfriends, and just like, yeah, this and that, blah blah. I don't really want to be in that receiving end of that. That's definitely drama, because it's like, if you don't argue with me about that, go talk to your friends about it. But or unless you can just face me about it, face me. Like, you don't have to tell anybody else, especially if you're going to be intimate like that. Vulnerability, because vulnerability. Sorry, it starts with really honestly, like, a woman just opening up to you. Like, people think, oh, you're a simp for listening to her shit, but if you really listen to her and you take the time, she's going to give herself to you. She'll give her emotions, and she'll find trust, because that's what women really are seeking, is vulnerability. Are they going to be safe in that vulnerable position of, I'm going to vent to you? So that's why, even to me, it's like, it's really intimate. Like, for a woman to vent to other men, like, if she does that, that's fine, but the consequences are not going to be me crying. It's going to be me moving on, and the door is right there. And I have to be that way, because a woman's nature is very brutal. She will flirt with guys in front of you just to test you, just to see what you're going to do, just to see if you're going to chase, or you're going to run away, or you're going to be like, you know what, nah, go ahead and do that. If you want to do that, that's fine. I'm going to move on quick. The second, that's my logic. And so far I've been living that lifestyle where, all right, if my woman doesn't like it, she's going to scream at me when I'm providing a house, I'm providing a car. Even during this pandemic, I'm providing as much as I can. I'm like, you accept it or you take it. I'm providing the necessities. If she doesn't accept it, the door is right there. You can walk out, you can open it, and you can stay outside. But if you are going to argue with me in this house, I suggest you walk out, because this is not the lifestyle for you. And I'm sorry about this, but that's it. And she's like, no, running after me, chasing me, deeply attracted. I mean, if I was doing that for the rest of my life, why is she still here with me? If I still been doing that, why didn't she leave? Is there something correct that I'm doing in those situations? Why didn't she leave, if that's the case? If she left, then that means I'm most likely weak, and like, oh no, please don't leave me. Neediness. She doesn't want to see that shit. No woman wants to see any type of form of neediness I've tried. I had that. I was like that guy. I was that guy before for a while. That needy guy. Even, after my brother died, I was like, during the time I had a harem as well at the Hyatt. We had like 6 or 7 girls, actually more at one time. And at the time I was hooking up with 1 or 2 chicks. The story goes, I was crying and all that. I was in the balcony. I was like, I had all these things, but I was like, man, I needed to heal. She was like, yeah, you're kind of weak. You need to stop being a victim. And she's like, oh, whatever, rolling her eyes at me. I'm like, wow, brutal. So you think a woman will give a shit if she, if you care about her and all that? She needs to see if you can provide, especially if you have a kid on the way. It's a little different.
Wow. So give me one hot second. Let me just get a tissue real quick.
Yeah. Sure. So again, quick break. Shout out to my boy Justin for inviting me to this podcast. I've been looking forward to this for a very long time, and also shout out to J-Mac again for teaching me a lot of things too and adding on.
For sure, man. So what? This was your current fiance now? She said that to you?
Yeah. No. Well, this is what I've said before that kept her. Right now we're really good. Yeah. I'm just trying to get into an environment where it's not too much noise because I know this is live. So.
Okay. No, I mean like when she said you were weak for mourning over your brother's death, that was your partner now, or that was someone else?
Oh, that was someone else. That was before that, and before that, I was very vulnerable, but she didn't give a shit about it, And yeah, and I ended up passing her off to one of my good friends, one of my best friends. Passed her off. Say, hey, if you like my homie, go for it. I'm cool. I'm not gonna get emotional about it. I'm gonna get it out of my system. And then that same week, my best friend came out. My lady best friend came out, and 2 of my my ex at the time, and then this other model chick. I actually have those videos on Snapchat. I was thinking about resharing that. I can share that on the Gym Max too. But in that situation, she was really trying to chase. She was like, "Oh my god, like I fucked up," And I'm like, "You didn't fuck up. It's just my nature too. You're gonna see my nature. It's brutal. If you wanna really do that and face that, I mean, I have no choice but to show you as well. Everything's a demonstration. That's what it means to be an alpha. It's like you just gotta demonstrate."
And obviously, that frame of the door's always open. Is that going to be harder now with a kid on the way?
No, because my priority now is really to provide and making sure my son is healthy. I mean, she's already taken care of as well, but again, a woman would use. I'm not saying she would do it, but in general, they weaponize kids. They will use kids, especially if they really want something. They're like, no, you can't see the kid. I'm sorry, you can't see the kid. No, you're not gonna see the kid. And it happened for centuries. So, I studied that pattern as well. I'm not saying she'll do that, but I'm always prepared for that worst because I'm really literally living my best life by preparing for my worst. Once I prepare for the worst, I feel like I'm gonna live my best life now because I'm aware of it. What can I do that's not gonna be demonstrate behavioral traits that's really gonna have her, do things like that. So, that's why I stick to my guns. I stick to my word and what I like, what I dislike, my terms, my qualifications, and my end result, my end goal.
Okay, that's fascinating because I know you've already touched on a couple of things that I was going to raise, actually, like the honesty part and the jealousy part. And, we're going to get into that. But I was just thinking, because even in my head, I'm like, okay, like, because basically my story, obviously, most of the viewers hopefully do know that obviously I've come out of a 3.5-year relationship over the last couple months. And I'm kind of rethinking everything in terms of even like with kids and stuff. So obviously I want to live that kind of polygamous kind of lifestyle, whatever. But the main issue for me is raising kids. It's like, I feel like, number one, it seems like divorce rates are very high. Like they're rising every year as the times go on. And it kind of makes sense in terms of, everyone's access to each other. Like everyone's like a swipe away, if that makes sense. And like, there's so much, external forces that make it harder to kind of have that whole like soulmate lifetime relationship, if that makes sense. So it almost feels like if you want to get into something, especially polygamous, you almost have to be prepared for another man to be in the picture. I mean, luckily my parents are still, well, technically, actually, I'm actually adopted on my dad's side. So even another man to kind of raise me from my birth dad. He actually passed away when I was a baby. So it kind of feels like you have to be prepared for like another man might raise your kids. Are you prepared for that? Or do you expect to be the only man in your kid's life, living your kind of lifestyle?
I should be only I should be only man in my kid's life. There's no other way around it. Even if my relationship is gone and I lose everything, son always has to continue to learn from me. One, because I've came from a place where, you know, I've had things passed down to me, but I didn't want it. I didn't accept it. I went out and I got my own shit, and I managed to really do things on my own, like going out to the clubs, meeting my own women, building my own social circle game, getting into fights, getting jumped. So I'm like, man, my son really has to know what it, you know, like what type of man I am, you know, and what type of man he is, because he has my genes. And, you know, I come from a family of literally that. You know, my grandfather was, you know, 16 kids. My dad, you know, he's just, oh my goodness, you know, it's just I come from a family of you know, a lot of kids. So, you know.
Okay, so let's say worst comes to, I mean, are you thinking like there's no chance of you ever divorcing, anything like that? Is that your mentality? Like, what's the situation in Guam? Like, is that very rare for people to split up, basically?
Oh no, man. There's shit. Guam is bad, man. There's a lot of single mothers out here, man. A lot.
Okay.
A lot.
Are you like an extreme optimist, or are you like prepared? Like, because basically, I just wanted to just find out, like, if worst comes to worst, like, how would you go about, like, do you have that control where you could even help her find the right kind of beta male provider to look to raise your kid as well? Or that's like, no way, like, it's only me, or, you know, we're gonna have to find some alternative solution.
This is one of my favorite topics too, because I do tell her that when we argue and it's really bad, I'm like, I will help you with eye contact. I will help you find somebody that will fucking obey you and fucking worship you. And if that's something you're looking for, I'm gonna wish you the best of luck. But, you know, put me on child support. You know, I'll pay 100 grand. I'll pay 50%. I'll pay this, and I'll still want to see my son and then walk out the court. Even if I'm gonna get arrested, it's just I got to keep my dignity in these kinds of situations. One, because even if I lost everything, it's just a matter of I'm optimistic as fuck. Like, I'm always prepared for the worst. I'm always ready to go to war, literally every single day. Always ready. I don't give a shit what anybody else says. Really, I fucking don't. I get fucking my mentors blasting me every single day. I had enough mentors already plow this shit like, you're fucking broke. Fucking go get it. What the fuck you doing? She fucking leaves you. What are you gonna do about it? You have your son. You better provide for your son, even though she's fucking sucking some fucking beta male dick. What are you gonna do? I'm like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. Still, I mean, that's where I came from. Honestly, I mean, tattoos, these are scars, you know, like, fuck, you know, like, I came from it, man. Like, it was tough, but, you know, I snapped out of that victim mentality. I was like, you just gotta go up and get it. Women don't give a shit about your feelings. They may or may not, but deeply, especially when you open up, most of the time, she's not your mother. Your mother is there for you to open up. That's the woman you go to the most for vulnerability. I don't care what any fucking other dude says, but to be vulnerable, you got to, that's your mother right there. You give your mom your heart, but any other woman, you got to just keep her in line by qualifying her, keeping her in check, and just being the right guy. Like, hey, I'm gonna provide for you and all that. I'll give you several orgasms a day on command. By the way, we can get into that in the next the next podcast on how to make a woman orgasm too, as well. You know, as being a part of the dating side too, we tap into the sex aspect as well, like how to have her open up, how to get her orgasm, comfortability, and you know, willingness to open up, using the Pavlovian conditioning as well. It's really great. So there's a lot of things we can discuss too pertaining to that.
Amazing. Part 2. So you're not vulnerable and open to your fiance?
Like horrible? You mean, like, what do you mean?
Vulnerable, like you said, you'll be vulnerable and open to your mom, but not your fiance.
I am open. I'm just more aware of my feelings. Like, I'm not gonna be crying every single day, like, oh my god, I didn't get my money today. No, it's more like, hey, yeah, you know, I'm still healing, because here and there, my brother pops up in my head. You know, I went through a really traumatic experience with my brother, you know, especially with suicide. So, you know, I was there. I heard the gunshot and everything, and I was the second guy. I was the second family member to find him. So, it's still, no, it doesn't really bother me as much. Not like this before, where I just cry out of the open. But I found healing in that, and ever since I opened up to her, she respected my feelings, you know, because I was vulnerable in that situation. And it's only when I got power checked. It's only when I get checked. It's like, so what the fuck are you doing today? Are you gonna fucking look at another girl? Are you gonna do this? Are you gonna do that? I'm like, no, really, I'm working today. Honestly, you know, it's just, if I get checked, it's more like coming back down to the center. Don't get more angry. Just relax. You know, my uncle gave me this too, so I have this in my car. Really, every day I have this in my car when I'm driving. I'm like, oh, you know, like, you know, I'm grunting. I'm just like, you know, you gotta pet the puppy. Just pet the puppy, because really, it's about peace. Peace is when everything comes in. you study people like Bob Marley, a lot of very polygamous artists. They're very peaceful, man. You think that he's talking about like hate? No, he's talking about love and cherishing his woman and his woman, his harem of women, and they all fell in love with him. So he'd be smoking weed and just discussing spiritual aspects with his women. I'm like, man, that's beautiful energy. That's especially being the only masculine. But I noticed you mentioned something where if I'm okay with another male raising my kid, and also if like helping her find again another man in that aspect. But that's only if I'm gonna get checked where like I'm getting called out, like, oh, you're not doing this, you're not man enough, in a kind of sense. It's like, oh, but why aren't you doing this? Where's the shit you said that's happening? I'm like, well, you really think a person can be a millionaire overnight? I mean, it depends if they pass it down, but it's who you become along the way, and that's my answer to that.
For sure. And sorry to hear about your brother. Sounds like a major event that you've had to deal with.
It just takes time. Healing, it takes time, and being vulnerable to the right kind of partner too, and having her reciprocate that in return, having her invest more. Questions that has her investing. I mean, of course, it's both sides. So yeah. So my question for you, brother, as well, if you don't mind me asking, is so what motivates you right now to continue what you're doing? You got the Looks Max. I notice you're a lot more active, especially in the pickup community as well, and also the dating community. So how can we help you as fellow coaches, like add value towards your group, and what do you feel like your clients need as well, as far as like even just throwing in like a free consultation just to help and to add value, and even posting in the groups?
Well, the group, we're all trying to grow as men, like in all aspects. Like obviously, I've kind of delved into the whole kind of pickup community scene because that's kind of one of my main drivers into my journey, if that makes sense. My journey in fitness wasn't just for women. It was like me realizing my best self. I always had a vision, like when I'm 30, 35, 40, like what would I look like? What does my life look like? And fitness was always a big part of that. I imagine being a big, strong man. And yeah, like it's just whatever you can bring to the table. It's literally like, even I'm having a call with one of my millionaire mentors on Wednesday, and he's going to talk about marketing, how he set himself up, life before the millions, after the millions, and it's just being your best self. It's like I call it max theory. That's my term. That's my little term. So just maxing out everything. Looks max in, gym max in, wealth max in, personality max in. So literally whatever you can bring to the table, bring it. I mean, there's people in the group that's post about finance. There's people in the group that post about, fashion, or they have questions. It's just like a brotherhood of us just developing each other. Obviously the main angle, so the sharp point has been the gym and fitness, but that's one thing that we all bond with. But anything like, so I think people will find this conversation even here valuable.
Well, that's amazing. Okay, that's great, because that's literally what me and JMac too are about, is health, wealth, and dating. Peak performance and finances as well, especially because some guys are in different levels. Some are already at the end result where they're experiencing their women, and some are already like in these mansion events, these mansion parties, and some are even just going out right now building their skill sets. So I feel like literally everything from the end result to the beginning is all needed. It all needs to be discussed, and for them to map it up themselves. We can't really hold anybody's hand on everything, but once we give the tools out there and we keep discussing it, we keep bringing it out, they're going to find that way. Because two of my clients, they had, oh my God, the problems is very bad. Some were actually still virgins, and they're my age. And
how old are you?
I'm 28. So
that's crazy.
Imagine a 27-year-old virgin, coming to you and crying. I'm not going to disclose his name, but he came up to me, and I was like, I can help you out by putting you in the right circle. So I gave him that opportunity to go out with me and coach, or go out with me while I coach him, while he builds up his code approach, and then bring him to a yacht party where I told him pre-selection is going to keep you attractive. So I bet you if you sit in the middle, I get like 3 girls right now that are going to sit next to you, and while everybody's taking a picture, there's going to be 1 girl walking around at the back looking at you like, who the fuck is that guy? For that brief second, she will find attraction. And guess what? He did. He found a woman that actually, that had a boyfriend that offered her to him.
The boyfriend offered her?
Yeah.
Wow. Why?
Well,
What was
That's
he
what they're
thinking?
into. That was their into. That's what he's into. I'm like, man, he must have went through a lot. So I questioned him. I was like, yo, how did you get to that point? It's like, you know how many threesomes I've had? You know how many times I have women offer me? I just need to feel something. Like, dude, I'm gonna try something different. And I'm like, I respected that so much. I was like, yeah, this guy definitely went through the trenches, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna try something else. I'm like, no judgment, because I'm going through that same step. I'm like, hey, who knows? Maybe in the future, you know, to be fair, I'll offer my wife to other dudes in like later in life, like when I'm like 50 and shit. You know, really
Okay.
like,
Sorry, this brings me to my next point. So one of my questions was jealousy. So thank you for leading us here. So what's your thoughts on jealousy then? Because for me, that is probably the biggest challenge to that lifestyle.
right. Ooh. Jealousy on my end or her end?
Your end.
My end, completely not jealous. I take her around. I put her in circles where we're around a lot of great looking dudes. Like I brought her around J-Mac. I brought her around a lot of military guys. And I'm telling you, these military guys, they'll fucking climb over me. Like they'll be like, yeah, they don't give a shit about me. I'm like right here. The dude is like right here, like just towering over me. He's like, yo, I'm gonna take you home. Giving that, you know, that little, you know, I'm gonna take you home. He's doing that right in front of me. So I'm like, yo, this dude just really did this shit. And I called him out. I was like, yo, you want to fucking do this shit? I invited you to this yacht party. Let's fucking fight right now. Let's go. You want to play? You want to play that game? Like, bro, like I'm willing to go to jail right now. How about you? You didn't want to fight. Yeah. So that's not jealousy, but it's like, don't fucking disrespect me in front of my wife, bro. Like, dude, I invited you to a party where she was helping you find other girls too. You son of a bitch, you got greedy. I'm like, you're gonna get greedy, I'll fucking stab you. And I did. I almost did, man. I had a knife on me, man. And the second time we met, I was with my wife, my stripper friend, my stripper best friend, which we had a threesome to as well. She left already. And then her roommate. So we went to the beach and we saw him again. And the dude was like, "Oh, what's going on, sexy? Like, I don't give a fuck. You got a man." And she was like doing it right over me. I'm like, I just let it go. I was like, it's all good. I'm not jealous. Really, I'm not. But it's just a matter of don't fucking disrespect me when I'm literally in a position of offering. Like I'm not a jealous guy where I invited other dudes to come sit down with us at the table. Like, yo, like I'm with my wife. Come drink. Come sit down with us. There's 2 other girls. I'm not a greedy guy. I don't care if I don't know you. Like that's when it comes to the point where like how do I get really cool guy friends as well? It's hang out with a lot of cool chicks and just be like, hey, yo, you want to come to the circle? Just come kick back. And I'll be friends with like millionaires. I'll be friends. That's how I met a billionaire. That's how I made 10 grand from one of my clients when I was working a regular job, is by introducing him to other hot women where they're all sleeping on the beds and following the pre-selection rules. I have all these pictures too. So it's really a matter of, I know nature deep down, she's always going to be like doing some shit like in front of me that probably I wouldn't like, but it's okay. I'll let her go. Go ahead and do it. It's up to you if you want to flirt. It's up to you if you want to do this. I'm like, not completely open to it, but I'm just going to let you go, where I'm not going to have any attachment to that. But I will provide for you. I will nurture you. I will raise our son together, and I'll be very happy about it. To me, that's the abundance mindset. Because if she walks away, it's completely fine. It's okay, because when I go to Las Vegas and I have this system, yeah, it's
Wow. So do you have boundaries then? Because obviously you talked about the guy being the aggressor. How was your wife or your missus reacting to that?
Oh, she is like, yeah, I am only for one man for the rest of my life, and I'm willing to offer him other women because she likes other women. So, you know, in this scenario, it's just if he touches her, you know, if he's like gonna touch her in an aggressive way and it's like fuck this dude, that's when I start acting aggressive, because there's a lot of guys out there they get physical, but it's not like really aggressive, like where they're gonna hurt her and she's gonna, you know, she's gonna cry. Because one situation actually happened where one of my good friends, he got drunk and he actually was on coke, and then he choked her out. Like he did like that, like he choked her, but when she hit him, like he just like moved away, like, oh, you win. So it didn't really offend me. I was just like, I already knew he was joking. So I know deep down what triggers me. So I'm like, it's all good. I mean, you know, like I told him, just don't do that again, man. I mean, I know you're drunk, but you're in a position where I most likely knock you out, man. And I just don't say it. I just do it, you know. And in my head, I'm like, I already committed to it. So as far as jealousy goes, it's only a matter if they do it right in front of me and they disrespect me. I don't think it's really jealousy, because even when we go to these parties, I let her walk around. I let her do her thing. And, you know, if I catch her doing some bad shit, I'm like, I'll say, do it again in front of me. Like, just do it right now. Do it in front of me so I can get over it. And then I'll walk away. Block. Complete block. That's it. Walk away. Complete block. Don't even try to argue. Just walk away.
So you've seen stuff, and then you make her do it again, and then you kind of just deal with it, and then keep it moving.
No, she never did anything like that to disrespect me in front of me. So we never got to that point. But other women I have where I was like, this is your last chance. And then when they did it again, just walk away.
What's the worst thing you've witnessed?
Worst thing I witnessed. Finding out my ex-fiance fucked my good friend that I first introduced her to. It's the first dude I introduced when she came to Guam. It's the first dude I introduced her to. Found out later that they were talking. I was like, ooh, saucy. This is juicy. And you know what I did? You know what I did that same week after I found out that shit? Like, dude, I became a stripper. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go out. I am gonna get paid. And guess what? That week I had some sort of awakening where I walked out and there was 40 girls lined up with dollar bills, giving them lap dances, lining them up. And guess who I saw walk in a week later after doing the same thing? My ex-fiance. She walks in, sits at the bar. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, I see you grinding on that girl. I'm like, who's your friend? When she came with a girl, so I was like, who's your friend? Does she want a lap dance? Or what do you guys want? And it was the best feeling in my life, especially when I realized like that's what it means to be an optimist, is trusting the process, trusting that if a woman is going to be hypergamous, where she's going to move on to the next guy or she's going to cheat, see that as your gateway to like, holy fuck, I get to restart again. Oh my God, I can imagine the next girl. I could imagine the next one, the next one, the next one. I just trust it so much. I trust it so much. And it's like, if I'm not dead, I'm going to be balls deep in another woman that's going to do the same thing, and most likely is going to last longer, you know. But right now I'm very happy with the woman I'm with, and you know, I'm just taking care of her right now and just attending to her needs because she is pregnant. So I'm kind of dimming down on like, let's go out and smack on girls. I mean, no, let's stay home and I'll take care of you and the baby, because once he comes out and we have our own time, then we can go enjoy our fun. But this weekend, our last party is, we have a swingers party to go to where all the guys know that, you know, it's open on my end for other women, but it's not open on hers. So they have to understand that kind of respect. Yeah.
Wow, bro, it seems like you've been through a lot. Like, well, not like nothing crazy, but even listening to it, it's just like, oh man, damn, you're just making me like amped up.
No, it's just like, I just want to share this, man. Like, dude, this energy is just what it means to be a man, dude. Like, yo, like,
oh, man. But like I said, like, I guess, you know, you're going like, obviously, you know, every man, you know, for a wife or a girlfriend, she's got to be fine. Yeah, she's got to be hot. So obviously, you maybe have to deal with, and especially in a small place like Guam, you know, and you're dealing with the military guys as well. That sounds like a worst nightmare. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, dude, it isn't. Women here, they love military dudes. Like, bro, I get it. You know, like, you know, they're not from here. You know, and it's like exotic. But if we, you know, me and you, we go to the States, we go to Las Vegas, and they hear your accent, they see where we're from. You know, they're like, oh fuck, these guys are exotic. Just off the bat, so SMV right there, it's a paradigm shift. Here in Guam, yeah, you know, like, you know, my body count here is, you know, is very high even for this place. So it's like, you can imagine elsewhere, you know, and it's very conservative out here. So we got to really be careful because reputation is everything out here. And, you know, I fucked up my reputation quite a lot out here. And most guys, they think it's really cool, but what happens when you get cops that are boyfriends calling you up like, hey, fucking with my wife, like, you should grab your dick. It's like, oh shit, like, you can go out anywhere and they'll know who the fuck you are. So it's like, you gotta either face that shit, face the consequences, or just try to be low key as much as you can. So it is really small out here. So you know, like, women are very low key with you know, other locals, but with the military they're more open because, you know, they're not from here, so they can leave anytime. So it's no attachment. Me, like.
So it sounds like you've been doing this as well. So, you know, people have been like kind of not toying with you, but they've kind of been like maybe pushing the buttons a little bit, testing their luck, and then you do the same thing as well. Yeah,
like I'll stay quiet, and then I push my buttons by like, yo, like, it's been a year, but like I increased my income like this month, or, you know, like I found a new chick with my girl, or, you know, like I got a new car. They're just like small stuff, you know, like just just for myself to feel good, because I notice like whether you're feeling good or bad, people don't give a shit. They don't. They only care about like, is it going to be a positive message? Like, is it going to be love? They don't care about the trauma. I mean, they see the trauma, they'll show love, but deeply, they'll show love. Oh, I care about you, and then scroll. I'm like, so why, you know, why have to be vulnerable in that way when you can just, focus on your own growth, like self-growth, self-mastery. This is what I believe the pandemic is what's teaching us: is quarantine yourself, come back to the center, work out, meditate, just the basic stuff, and like what else could we do to scale up when things start opening up again? So it's like reflecting.
And so it sounded like as well. So is there like a dark side of the advanced social game, like a negative side? So yeah, you do bring that dude around, and now he's acting out of line. Does that make sense? Is there like a negative side? Is it not all win-win? There is a negative side as well.
The negative side is she could possibly be like, what about me now? Like, the questions that are going to attack, like really fuck with a man's emotions. I believe like a man would rather get into fights than to feel the emotional pain. Because I believe like, it's who we got taught from. It's how could we manage that too? My brother was going through that a lot as well. So he's always, you're such a bitch, blah, blah. And she would use that shit. She manipulated him, like in those feelings. So what can we do as far as like sticking by our guns? It's really just facing it. It's going through it and understanding that, the dark side is really, if she really wants to go the other way where she wants other dudes involved, you got to be prepared for that. Because look at Will Smith, Will and Jada, they've been in an open relationship for a long time. And she probably decided like, I'm going to do it myself. And when she did that, that was kind of a low-key gut. And Will's like, I already understand it. So, it's whatever. I'm going to move on. But he's the Fresh Prince. He's probably filled with his DMs are most likely filled with Instagram models. I mean, fuck, you're that kind of person. Check out their DMs and see, what else. It's just what he chooses, what they like. So I really believe the dark side is getting into fights, going to jail, running into boyfriends that are most likely they're going to try and hurt you. And then the emotional pain where your woman is going to want to experience it too, but not with other women. She wants to try with other guys. And then, or in some cases, it's just really really testing you and bringing you down. Child support, hitting you with all these, oh, I'm going to take you to court. Oh, I'm going to start telling people you're full of shit. So that's really the dark side, but it's like, I've been through that already. And it's like, I haven't got jumped. No one's come to my house yet. I'm out in the fucking open in my house, like the road. Most people know where I live. I'm like, where the fuck are you? Are you going to call me out or just talk shit over the internet? And that's it. So the dark side is really...
You're making monogamy sound not so bad.
No, honestly, man, monogamy, it isn't. I love it. It's just how to make it last, how to keep that relationship lasting, like keep it spiced up. She wants to see you with other women, man. Women do, man, deeply on a primal level. It's just nature. They want to see if you're willing to provide. They want to see how much women are chasing you. Like a really good test is going to the beach with 2 of your lady friends that you're not even fucking. You don't even have to fuck them, bro. Just take your 2 lady friends as props and just, hey, I'm not using you, but hey, I'll buy you drinks, whatever, and I'll provide the paddle boards, and see how many women are gonna approach you and say hi. Because when I did that with my girl and one of my good friends, there's girls looking at us and they're like, oh my god, hey Karl. They're just trying to reach out, like, hey, what's up? And you get into a conversation. Yeah, we should work out. Totally, flipping their hair. We should totally add me to the hiking groups. So I'm really that type of guy too. Like when we want to go out, like I don't really code approach as much. It's more like just conversations now. Like I don't think of it as game. I just think of it as like, if my girl thinks she's cute, all right, I'll be like, okay. So either you go talk to her, message your friends, or I'll just say, hey, what's up? Listen, my girl thinks you're cute.
Okay, so you think your life is better still living that lifestyle of polygamy and the open side of things? Life would be better for you than if you were to be like fully locked down with just one.
Even if I was fully locked down with just one, I'd be completely fine with it too, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. I do enjoy my privacy. I enjoy a family way of life, only because I've went through this. I've went through this for over 10 years. When I was going out to the clubs, I was getting threesomes from strippers. I was, most of the women I've been with, when I was cycling and rotating them, they all loved other girls. I had lesbians invite me to their house and sleep over. There were orgies, and I fell asleep on it. So honestly, like if I were to go the path of monogamy and being a family man, I'd be the best fucking family man I possibly could, and just I'll be cool with it. I'll be fine with it. But right now, I'm just like, I'm 28. She's very young too, so I'm like, what can we do in this life right now, where we're gonna be really happy? What are we gonna do right now that's gonna make us really happy? Where we'll probably practice monogamy when we're like late 40s. Where we're like, went through this together. Now I can fully just settle down with you. So I feel like it's all steps. I feel like a man should go through the player phase first, really, and then start finding girlfriends and all that. Because I noticed too, most guys will be like, all right, I want a girlfriend right now. But in order to attract that girlfriend, she has to see your social proof. She has to see who your friends are. She has to be like, is this guy fucking cool enough to hang out with me? Even if she's a fucking 7, the girls will test you. That's why I only go for 10s. That's why only the 10s, I feel like I can only connect deeper with the 10s, because the 7 is like kind of insecure, has a regular job, still follows the Disney narrative. And that's fine, but it's like she's qualifying you when she really isn't shit. That you're a fucking peasant. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I don't mean to be a dick, but really, like, why are you gonna be a dick to me, qualify me when I am in a position of fuck you? I can provide. I can really do a lot of things and provide extra shit. Working out, have optimal genes, coming from like a lot of trauma where I'm healed now, a lot of peace. So it's really of like a matter of like, I feel like our boys, like our guys, that our clients really should just start going out and finding the right types of coaches where they're living that life and just hack it, have pre-selection, go out to the clubs and invest money into a coach and coaches that are actually doing it, like taking you step by step, like hang out with us at the club. You're going to pay me 10 grand. I have 12 girls right now. And most likely one of them is going to go for you because there's 3 of us, me, you, and just put this for example, me and you and J-Mac. And then we each have 1 client each. Each of those clients paid us 10 grand. That's $30,000 worth of stuff. One, because someone did give me 10 grand to give him that kind of lifestyle. You know what I did? I called all my lady friends. They paid for everything. They paid for the jacuzzi sessions. They paid for the bowling nights. They paid for the VIP section. So you know what? I was like, let me set up the environment where we're going to go bowling and I'll invite like 12 girls, 8 girls. And out of the 3, me, you, and J-Mac, we're sitting down. There's like 8 girls. You think those girls are not going to compete for any of us? And when we're not, as coaches, when we're not going to chase them, we're just going to talk amongst each other and just joke around with them, they're going to chase the clients because of that position of environment. We position them to be in an environment where if a woman can't get us, they're going to go for the second best option. That's why they say nice guys always win. Well, nice guys win. Or it's winning regardless, but you just have to wait a little longer and be patient because she's fucking the alpha male right now. And when the alpha male does like walks away or just completely is like, fuck you, she'll go for the next one, which is the next beta male, which is beta, the next second. So me, you, and J-Mac were in a club. Clients pay us 10 grand. There's 12 girls around us. As coaches, I feel like those women are going to be deeply attracted to us 3, and they're going to ignore our clients. Why? Because our clients are going to be in the corner unless they have experience and having pre-selection and high SMV. They're going to feel like, oh, they're caught blocking, but in reality, those women are going to be in a position of, I got to chase because there's 12 of us and there's like 6 of them. So those other 6 girls, law of averages, are going to end up chasing the other 3 guys if we don't give them attention. So,
and that's the difference between attracting a 10 and attracting a 7. Would you say?
Yeah, I mean, I have all the videos. I have literally in my circle, I have a lot of 10s, and I'm not saying this to brag, but I'm saying this because I deserve the 10s. I deserve to be around that kind of energy where they have their shit together. They're really respectful towards my wife. Really, they're like, oh my God, honey, like, I love you. You're so beautiful. I'm like, yes, I love it when these women do that because, one, they're my friends. I don't care about like some of them, I don't really care about fucking. I just care about like, yo, let's just fucking hang out and take some pictures. I mean, if it comes down to the fucking, why not? Let's rock it because I've done it. I've done it where I've smashed Miss Universe models, right in the same day they won, and it's just really fucking the girls you want and being in the position of like, this is what I want. I want to either hang out, I want to cuddle, I want to fuck. It's not always fucking all the time because a woman will see that as unsafe. She's like, oh, this guy just wants to fuck. That's it. No. What if you're like, I'm genuinely a fucking good guy. Like, you can just be friends with me. I mean, I'll crack sexual jokes here and there, most likely escalate on you, right? And that's what the kind of shit they love. And it's just finding that fine balance of like, I want him to be my friend, but I'm gonna give you the opportunity to get out of that friend zone too. So it's like, okay, that's cool. you know, and this is my lifestyle. And I was like, okay, if this is gonna be my lifestyle, I'm gonna find a woman that's gonna enjoy this with me. And you know, it's not all the time I'm gonna be doing that because I'm gonna be working most of the time, really. But it's like when we go out to these swinger parties or we go to the beach, that's when it's like, okay. Or we're like, hey, honey, if you want a threesome tonight, just message your girls, see which ones are down. And then she's like, hey, girl, you down for a threesome? And most of the girls that she messages are like, yeah, I'm down. Yeah, I'm down. And so far, we got like 5 yeses, and 4 of them haven't pulled through. But you know, we already got one with her best friend because our relationship is only 2 years. So it's kind of it's patience at the same time, and it's like setting up the logistics and the environment. So you know,
Sure. How old is your missus, by the way, if you don't mind me asking?
She's 20.
20. Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, her
Prime.
SMV is big. Yeah, prime. Yeah, SMV for women is naturally 18. Nature it's 16, but here the law is law out here in Guam is 16. It's just with consent. Like the parents have to like, yo, my daughter's 16, but you can go hang out with them. That's literally what it is. Pedophilia is only under 16. 15 and under, it's pedophilia is considered. So I just wouldn't take that risk because it's still kind of like really, you know, that's really young. 18 is already like it's good enough, man. You know, so
yeah,
really
for sure.
Yeah.
And then, if you notice anything in terms of younger women and older women, is there like any preference or?
Yeah, I prefer younger women. I prefer women my age, like my wife's age, like 18 to 22. Honestly, yeah. Older women they're fine, but you know, I don't like high mileage women, man. I'm not gonna lie. They can be a 10, but if they're like, I fuck like 50 dudes, I'm like, I'm not gonna sit there and hear you bragging about how big his dick is, because if I make you nut, you're gonna get fucking crazy. You're gonna get emotional. You're gonna call me every day, and I'm gonna be like, I'm busy. I've done that before, and it's bad because I did that once, and I gave her good dick. She orgasmed on the first night, and I nutted in her. Like I actually literally just, you know, fuck it, I'm gonna nut in you, and 50 calls the next day. 20 calls the day after, 50 text messages. And then when I didn't give her the right attention, she told all her bartending friends, all of them, like, yo, this guy's a fucking toxic ass fucking dude. I'm like, it's not toxic when, I mean, what the fuck is toxic? Toxic is what? Toxic is being a fucking nice guy. That's what it means. But I was just straight up like, hey, you're not the only one. You know, at that time I was rotating like at least 6 girls. You know, and it wasn't just sex, it was just intimacy as well. And they're offering themselves, offering other women. I was passing them off to my friend, you know, and that's the dark side of it, is when they get really emotional. And that's why I get irritated when girls are like, yeah, I love big dick. I'm like, that's great, because it's not bad having a big dick, but it's how many orgasms did you have with that dick? Like literally, I don't care. You can tell me it's, you know, slanging a fucking 9-incher, but really it's how many orgasms did you have? And if you're going to talk to me like that and be that masculine, I probably will choke you and be like, I'm your father, like, and then just make her nut and then just leave her on red the next day. You know, and that's just a chasing mechanism. It's a manipulative tactic to keep them chasing, and it's not really deceptive. It's more, if you want to play that emotional game with me, just know that it's not me that's gonna get emotional, and it's you, and you're gonna love it. But it's how long can you last? How long can you be submissive to this type of man? And usually women will run away from it and go for a beta male after me. So
wow,
that's the pattern. Yeah,
amazing, bro, amazing. So Karl, how could oh, sorry.
Oh, it's the only way, man. I mean, even for you, like, yo, like, it's like if we're in that position where a woman's just gonna leave us, get up and go, like, what are we gonna do as men? Sit down all day in our house, or get up and go out and do something? But please go on, please. You know, honestly, like, I would love to keep talking, but there's so many questions too. You as well, man. Like,
yeah, man. I just was well, I like to keep these like an hour long. We definitely need to do a part 2. I'm just gonna say, share with the brothers, share with everyone watching this. How can they get in touch with you if they want help with coaching? Just share with everyone how they can take the next steps.
Well, honestly, they can just message me, or they can go through you. Especially if they're paying clients, because 1, this is your group. 2, for business, I'm really I'm really careful with business, because if your clients are going to be messaging me, that's your referral. So that means if that's a paying client, we get a percentage out of that too. So how are they going to reach out to me? If they see this, it's through you or my personal Facebook messages, and they can go through you.
For sure. And what do you say you specialize in helping guys with as well?
I specialize in helping guys with hacking and pre-selection. JMac also does this as well. So I'm doing this with one, how to get a woman to offer themselves, how to offer their other women to you. Two, how to position yourself in a very attractive environment where women are going to literally just take the time and choose you and pick you, where you're going to have an option to choose one. And three is the wealth side as well, and on real estate, the basics of investing, how to maintain this lifestyle without having to go to 3 jobs. Because in this lifestyle, you're going to have time to go out to the beach. You're going to have time to go out to the clubs. So it's helping men to balance their work and life cycle to get where they're at, and health, wealth, and dating.
Amazing, bro. Amazing. Obviously, if you've got any links, I'm sure you'll send me those as well. I'll put them in the description.
Right. And then you got a book as well too, right? That you're reading too. I want to take a look at that as well.
Yeah, I'll send that to you. I'll send that to you after this. Cool. Well, Karl, thank you very much for coming on, sharing your experiences and your knowledge with us and the brothers and the group. We'll definitely do a part 2. Fellas, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all on the next one.
It's an honor. Thank you.
Sweet.